Tā, šodien parunāšu par īstenībā tādu, kā varbūt liksies daudziem, kā viņu šīs kaut kas neiedomājams, bet jā, ka sāksies patiesībā, ka tikko nesen Amerikā, Čikāgā, Ilinoisā pieņēma likumu, kad būs atļauts slepkavot cilvēkus viens otram. Un tas būs legāli, nevarēs ne policija iejaukties, nekas neko palīdzēt nevarēs. Tas būs ar likumu, tas tā tika pateikts. Vēl, protams, nekas zināms nav atcelts vai neatcelts, bet iespējams tas būs, tas tā arī būs, tā to parādīšu arī video, noskatīsimies.
First, it was passed in the middle of the night with 40 minutes to read an 800-page bill, which is unacceptable. As of January 1st, 2023, the following...
January 1st, 2023.
Things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery.
Viņš saka, ka varēs novalpīt jebkuru, piemēram, cilvēku varēs no ielas novalpīt, tu varēsi tur tajā Čikāgā, varēs apvalpīt veikalu, varēs slepkavot, un tas būs atļauts.
Drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official,
draudēt, narkotikas, viss.
And aggravated fleeing and eluding.
Visus laupīšanās, visus mājas dzīvokļus, visu varēs iet un vienkārši visu pilnīgi jārdīt ārā.
Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners, officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your resident.
Policija nevarēs iejaukties vienkārši. Ja, piemēram, kāds tajā, ja tu tagad esi Čikāgā, kaut Ilinoisā, tad tur nevarēs neviens, sākot ar 2003. Gadu, iejaukties. Policists, ja tavā mājā kāds ielauzīsies, tev pašam būs jāizstāvās. Piemēram, ja kāds ieiet ar tavā mājā ieroci, viņš tevi var nošaut un vienkārši un policija neko nedarīs. Tev pašam būs jāizstāvās, piemēram.
Residents or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket. You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them, and whether or not it's legal. This is a massive threat to the residents of Oil Park, Cook County, and Illinois.
We can smell it. It's a bad stench of racism coming from that side of the aisle.
All right, guys, so according to Twitter, the purge is coming to Illinois. Okay, let's pray for those law-abiding citizens in Chicago because things are about to get much worse. There are about to be a lot of violent criminals released out into the public because of this new woke progressive criminal justice reform law that is going to take effect on January 1st, 2023. And I try to tell you guys...
Tas, ko saka viņš, ka te būs dēļ viena likuma kādi krimināli izlaisti, lai visi viņi ietu purģot. Bet ko es gribu pielikt par to? Tā kā filmā Purge, vai ne? Tieši arī, kur bija vienā daļā, kur bija tā kā, bija hūdā visi tajā, te salīduši tajā genga rajonā, visi genga rajonā gāja purģot. Tur bija tā kā filmā, kad valdība brauca uz viņu to gengu, un tad vienkārši gengs aizstāvēja tos, iedzīvotājus, kad dzīvo tajā genga rajonā, kur valdības aģenti, tie visi tie militārie, augstie militārais dienests, visi brauca tajā Purge filmā, lai vienkārši, nogalinātu visus, kas dzīvo tajos rajonos. Es domāju, tas, kas būs šeit, tas nebūs, ka tur kaut kādi kriminālie brauks, iestur tagad visus tur sīs nost, savus tikko izlaisti no cietumā, visi cietumā, kas ir, viņi nav visi pilnībā, visi ļauni, vai ne? Kāpēc gan viņi gribētu nogalināt tagad tur, nevainīgus, piemēram, cilvēkus, kuri tur kuriem nav naudas, lai izkļūtu ārā no turienes. Kāpēc kaut kādi krimināli gribētu visi to darīt? Ko es domāju, būs tā, ka kaut kādi arī būs nolīti speciāli valdība šie militārie agenti, lai vienkārši tur samazinātu tur to skaitu vienkārši un visus cilvēkus, kas tur ir nosloktētu. Es domāju, ka tas arī būs. Nevis tur kaut kādi krimināli visus sitīs. Ja tie, protams, šis purge būs, pa īstam būs, un tā kā tur saka, tikai tagad vēl saka, vēl nemaz neko nevar zināt.
Time and time again. The biggest threat to our country is progressive criminal justice reform. There is no bigger threat to this country. Nothing else even comes close, because that is what is allowing these criminals out on the streets and are costing us lives on a daily basis. So I want to talk about this law, because this law, it's causing a whole lot of people to freak out, as they should, right? There is justified outrage over this, okay? Because I got a feeling that a whole lot of people are going to get hurt. A lot of law-abiding citizens are going to suffer because of this. But this is just par for the course when it comes to the Democrat agenda for this country. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play a news clip so you guys can get a better understanding of this law called the Safety Act, which is coming to Illinois, that will get rid of cash bail in the state. Take a look.
First in Illinois is set to eliminate the cash bail system, but Southern Illinois lawmakers and law enforcement say it could make communities more dangerous. Colin Bailey reports.
I believe the elimination of cash bail, particularly as it's written in the Safety Act, will reduce public safety and lead to more crime, particularly violent crime in Illinois.
Former state's attorney and current 118th District State Representative Patrick Windhorst tells me he voted against this bill when it came about. Windhorst says he was one of the leading voices against the Illinois Safety Act, legislation aimed at overhauling the state's criminal justice system.
In talking with prosecutors and law enforcement officers, they're really concerned that the public is going to point the finger at them and say, okay, why aren't you doing more about these offenses? And with this major change in the law beginning January 1st, a lot of their ability to do their jobs has been restrained.
And like Windhorst says, local officers like the Johnson County Sheriff agree with Windhorst.
Anyone sitting in jail right now with all these pending charges, they're going to be let out. The gates are open. They're going to be let out in the streets.
The bill passed with the support of upstate lawmakers. Proponents of the law say it's wrong to keep people locked up simply because they can't afford bail. According to Johnson County Sheriff Peter Sobchak, fewer suspects will end up going to jail. Only suspects involved in specific deadly threats could be held.
So it's really taking the hands out of the police even arresting people. We're going to end up calling someone saying, can we arrest them? Just because of liability, if you take someone into custody and it doesn't meet all the criteria, well, then you could get in trouble.
Sobchak is mentioned before.
Burglary of offense and
Cash.
Homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official. So apparently you can rob somebody. Okay, you can be charged with second-degree murder, and they're not going to hold you. They're just going to let you back out on the streets. What could go wrong? Right? What could possibly go wrong here? Somebody tell me. Right? Somebody tell me what could possibly go wrong here. I mean, it's not like states like California and some of these liberal cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco haven't tried this already. Okay, in which, those cities have become lawless hellholes. I mean, they just have. And it has become so lawless that they have even red pill progressive Democrats like Anna Kasparian of TYT, who, used to cheer for this type of stuff. Now she's vehemently against these type of progressive woke criminal justice policies. Take a look.
Los Angeles Times loves to carry water for the failed policies that we've been seeing from George Gascon in Los Angeles. They love it. They defend him all the time. But this is what they wrote. Del Cid had previously been arrested December 8th, but pretty short. I know there are people on the left that are like,
at a boiling point early Saturday morning.
Tas arī viss pagaidām. Tas arī viss iespējams, tas Purge būs īsts. Iespējams tāpat kā arī filmā Purge, kuru rādīja pa kino. Visi zina, kāds zina, tā arī īstenībā būs. Un tas nozīmē, ja jau būs vienā vietā, tad ar laiku tas būs arī visur vairāk un arvien vairāk. Piemēram, tas pat var aiziet līdz visiem, līdz Latvijai, visām valstīm. Tas var aiziet globāli, tas pat var aiziet. Pieņemsim globāli, tas var aiziet, piemēram, pateiks, ka globāli visi šie noziegumi tiks atļauti. Un vienkārši valdībā izlems, ka, drīkst tā kā visus vienkārši viens otru atšaut, nosist noteikti diennakti vai kaut kur tā apmēram. Un šī ir jau realitāte, šī nav vairs tā kā kaut kāda izdomāts, kaut kas izdomāts, šī jau tikko ir realitāte, ko dzirdējāt, ko teica oficiāli mēdī, ko teica, ka tas jau būs iespējams, kad sāksies Purge pa īstam Čikāgā tieši, Illinoisā, Čikāgo. Let's go! Tas jau parādā to, ka tas ir īsts un nav nekāds vairs fake ziņojums vai izdomājums. Tas var būt pilnīgi īsts viss, kas notiks 2003. Bet jā, redzēsim vēl. Interesanti, vai tas būs vai nebūs. Tā kā tas arī viss priekš šī video. Gribēju, lai zināt. Tas arī viss.